Ghana the National Cathedral lawyer. Yes, and indeed, or a National Cathedral lawyer. It's a lawyer Charles Juana Ebeba Betnase na Ghana in Samaura Ekoso Ewe Yaba House no Yadeno Edi Ehu Enkomo, including the National Cathedral. Afe anene yes National Secretariat Yagu no de hu kro de benjina ne menenam social media and I be copy Franklin Kujo the war. The Franklin Kujo the only say and Koma Babia the only this hand community and the LGBT Koma a picture ewe Yamamuha. There be a because Franklin Kujo be who say what the LGBT and come on that the boy on cancer LGBT come Franklin Kujo can be that was so yeah they be no more can maybe allegedly say Sikadi be no crowd sponsors no it be free baby no more sponsor Franklin Kujo ye who say what LGBT come on can be that the boy no there on the country somewhere where this are commodity be that but yeah this are LGBT who come and if your prices are a move pejana and then Franklin Kujo on the National Cathedral who come and also obedi and then Benenam social media, Benam Facebook and we post to National Cathedral who come be a year Facebook. But Yamen Chadi and then Pepe lawyer etnasia maybe will deal with that. Na yet the whom come briefly so Jubedi so alongside Nkoma Aka. Eti member the town because then the show is packed. What do you say? Said you bet to be a cover a year and Sabado Dodona na and for your information, the air cost to President Mahama every France aba on the yomo President Macron ekoye meeting. Na waba make us say 3 o'clock here. President Mahama was in Russia, Ukraine, and only the Emfa Ghana hono, and then the Efa the Hupao, and then US, Israel, Iran, and Tokwada SCO. President Mahama a force amo free France aba make us say obo emergency cabinet meeting. Asama Kawadian ka US ni Iran de Russia and Tokwade US Iran and Israel and Tokwade efa President Mahama humbe and ne omo na force na omo shedem cabinet meeting. Omo ya cabinet meeting no Kawadian thousands of kilometers away but ne wa hu say asem bisi obi man so a it be bekan enti on the 19-member cabinet omo gina shedem a omo meeting ni mu odey pa. Taxes no, levies no, and now some kinds of margins no. Yibi every swana. One city dumso levy no. Minority air colosso any free so. Now dumso levy the dumso levy free fa. Fango bo air cost as dumso levy. Now and this for omwane kofabai. And the dumso levy no be year free so. And also still maintain omobema akem. China ye be free them on maba. You say emergency cabinet meeting. I can't I say Monsieur be by so I say yes. And now Ochiaka Shiwa. Ijana Shiwa. Wow beba. It's a normal year cabinet meeting. And then kind of for me at times some so ewo na menko Ochian China Yakoba after ye do bra and summer academy. And in the meantime, in between time, Alex ewo hado and there every year you bring. Na ye baby di ochia herbal powder ho enkomo na ochia herbal powder fo ekopie mu ewo kwawu omu ekobi na wo sho ochia herbal powder na enya kwawu anka bidim so omo dancers na yeah Alex akonjinedi beba akwa aba mi de bema over mejo so enen na we radi busua abasani do sukuta yumusa berene wum ai bia bi husa wabre last week aka ma me course e buy wunchu na otwa dancers no ka won su bia na do of nkan that is so bu yi say that ya professor Dambalis otwa dancers dey omu superb make say wa kokou yeah wakotom ho okwa aba easy kwa unu na massive anyema bibiri na course sanya mamba ko ma mienu ya wofa bafwa ji otwea da tu ma me na nkwatiafo ase kwa wati bie kwa nkwatia tafo tese me bobo ampraye so minu kura meja ewu obome tese ba bia kwa udie otwea na shita ba bia
na maame nchia ye maame bi fie bi ekosi mu ewo Kwaku Kwatia ho anti salo ewo David House of David Hotel anti salo ene ne ma no ne nana no de mo ye ni so pa nyame onhyiramo muntiness ye se agirem because na ni je you feel say the sa wo fie pepepe na nika bibia course kama pa ofa mamemfa enchia ema adofo ene yetiefo nyina menim se nipa bebre no afie nanso so aduro ne de monfi ade ngira monfi wo pharmacy shop wo herbal shop wo over the counter bia wo Ghana ha wo bowura ho ubenya otwe herbal pada ne bi ato Divine Hope Herbal Center ana akofa saa aduro nwanso aba we purely herbal organic chemical bia enim yen ya haban enubna enua nkuhini ene enua ne ahodo ne yakeka boma yede aye otwea herbal powder no we powder sei ene tie na wonu ma de ohia ye nsu a de ana se wunya nsu hia eno na wode benum yade bia wode sa no anopa wo benum ba ko amame na enumere so wanum ba ko nti da bia no wobeteki mienu na amame aduro ne ye otwea herbal powder Divine Hope Herbal Center ya so ye kase no ewo Kumasi Hamakru abusuakuru wajanshi de ho Kumasi aburo senim no eho na otwea herbal powder ya so ye Divine Hope Herbal Center no ye butu ti opebi ato ana se upese uton bi ya pharmacy shop herbal shop over the counter na so upese utubia ye number see bush screens yi so no emu bia wo be free no e benya adaje ajebre na wo so wanya bi na bia mentimi am oyade no so ofa number si a me kasa sesi a no betima free na ya kire location no ene kwan ya obefa so a obenum otwea herbal powder no amayen otwea herbal powder de ye tumofo se ye kwakwa no mu ka wo se ye tie enkyerɛkyerɛ amode ma ye directives amode ma ye no enne amame yade ma me bi wo ofro bepo na kure dikan no refi kro idin nursing training bi ho Kwaku atibie maame ni di adansie bi abra ne yekɔ ranse wura fie no maame ne se wayare ne sugar level no kɔsoro mfie bebre nso wurade tumi na ho ne wase ne babi hwɛme ɛwɔ wontumi he ya ɛne wodi akire ekoto bi wɔ nkɔkɔ maame akobam hɔ enne wɔkahye wurade ani munyam onom box ba ko wie no wase hospital bi ɛwɔ hɔ 31st clinic hospital no ko yen ehwa doctor na saka kyerɛ nse isi we sugar free eda wurade nyankopɔ ase we ni adanse akɛse a ba wɔtwea herbal powder ya so ye nti wɔdɔfo sɛ wotime nka numbers no ɛyɛ miensa ɛnu ɛne good screens no so no fa na so ɛfrɛ na yɛntwetwe nkɔmmɔ na aduro yɛ ɔpemfo a wonum bi saa so na ayɛ akwada wonya mfie dumienu ɛkɔ so a wonum bi enye ɔma akwada no fo wonum bi enye na emum wa sisiyadeɛ ɛhaw sisiyadeɛ ɛtew so na ɛtetew wogye wo ho a enye sisiyadeɛ nti wo se wo sisi anu ane beku obi ɛfroka wasi mate mesra unsom na wumpia sebe meto kakra emame ni nyina ne se sisi no asuga adwonku akyim odofo una wonya wotwea herbal powder ti bibu nsuhie mu anopa baako utigum na wono mame na anumre wotoa so ye saa mame a achaye na wotwe miensa sisi yade a ete wo so a etetewo no na afei agya no agina brane ama me so oba ada bema ekwanya wo sisi yade ne fa so ba ye ne de yen enye problem ni nyina ne se wo benya wotwea herbal powder ne bi se wo de no enam yade e na akofa ba obi de no sebe eyenyini na akofa sisi yade na ba obi ye adwumade ne sisi agi ne twi ebesi ne sisi yade aye kwankwa ete ne so obi sisi yade ye abusua yade ye fie de wonya mfie aduananum mfie aduanum ekwa na sisie no ahyase echi sebe me kase wonante a enipadua ne etire no wo babia hwe na ase no so wo babia echimagu odofo wei enye japade ade bia metena meka ye de gyanchirima ye papa chama mu untumi mu bedia japade ama mu meyi sebe ye mfa yade enka ho enu nti sasa yade a ye sisi yade na etetew na wo so wo de ne ye abusua yade a hwehwe wotwea heba pa da echiri kwan awurade tumi ne na ho ne nti ono no mamia na afi watu ho afisisi yade a hawo no so oba ana bema na wagina brane amame wodie no eye koko ama woyafunu ebom sebi obi eyafunu bom na wote nchen a wanhwa obeka se epodane yema asoche na eworo so ni nyina ye koko nsunsanso ni bi obi adware awie no obon se oti ne ho especially wadwale nsuoni no na ne ho eye ne hene wanhwa obeka se eye nam yade bi ene wanya koko ntiminua bema bi minua ba bi gya ne nan obon se sebe emoja kakra ewom na afei ahoro kakra ewom odofoi kooko no wodi na gu widiem wodi na sebe oyo ba age wani maboso wantwi ponso a wontimi mpie ti naano wa wodi adanse se wantwi ponso a efie na anim die anim hwe na wokowura ho no enkwada na wo fie ho no ehu se sister so mesi ena eba kooko no age wani maboso pe wotwe heba pada ni bi mame ewurade tumi ni na ho odenti nom to aso mame na wotwe miensa tubuso me de ho firi kooko yade a etete ana hawo no de bia me kase me hu se obi doctor ka kire ne se diagnose na ka kire ne se o yade ana se de ku munua bai ana munua bai me kooko nanso me se enhwehwemu bebre kire se about 60% or 70% of yade kooko ne de ba yani maso e di enti ne ye kasa asem we kooko ya mama ya ebeji ni padua ntini ne boso a mammo nya kwan eni afusane ye ewo eni padua nim ana se entini nim enu nti ubonse akoma ne pompi moja na insero se be fa ntini nim akono kooko no ana se amama na gintini na boso nti na akopem akire na the pressure sa beto eya akoma no so na akofa nyarewa bebre abre ni padua no odofuo kooko na etete wode a aduru ni wotwea heba pada edru enchiri bibia obi beka se kooko edru de ebia na epege ana se eka yedru enka de ema ne dance no na otwea heba pada no ensa anyanyo no obi se kooko edru bia no nanso otwea heba pada de unya bi na wudi abeka se Tom Brown na wudie enyanyo no ensa enka ubetima no makohunuma so enti kooko pade ensa otwea heba pada ho orofo kope otwea heba pada ni bi na eni wakagilemu abra kooko hawo na wo ye bema nese kooko yade ebetena wo so anase wo ye bema na sisi yade ebetena wo so a acha ye mfie mienu ni wanya guy name ewo ba no ho Mr 2 minutes bema ko sine ma petre pio na wagem enu nti otwe heba pada no nya bia esa kooko yade no na etu sisi yade na ase no na afi ede wo mema yo ebrew se bema na wo ko sine ni ma watimi apem akoni kooko ama menua baabi emfichi komu adane wo hawo bebre wonya wo bobena obi de no kura a season no amanu ntimi emma obi so de no koye family planning okoyi ye wie no emoja no eduru bosom ya se wo so kone maayum no ontimi enkone maayum obi awo awo achi be mfie ba ko mfie menu ni sebe ontimi ko afichire anase omu ne nsa ebasa akopɛ watwe heba pada ne bi numbers ni na good screens ni so no freme na menkyerɛ wo kwan a wobɛfa so a wobɛnom watwe heba pada no mo saa ma no mo mfa nsuo hie na bɛnom te wonya watwe heba pada ne bia na wo freme wo se doc ekwan pɛn na yɛmfa so a yɛndom watwe heba pada na ma kyerɛ wo se fibroid afei na ahyɛ aseɛ doctor ahunu se adiagnose wo ahunu se fibroid na afei na ɛba pawatwe heba pada ne bi na freme na yɛnkyerɛ kwan a bɛfa so wobɛnom awurade tumi ni na ho ade nti wade ho afiri saa wo hawa ɛte saa ho sɛ wɔba ɛde amame odie no ɛyɛ osa aduane to yafu na wo bobena aduane ntom na wo bobena obinya saman nanso sebe yatua ne meko force ni nyina ne se emeko to ne yem pe bia bete ne nka ewo mantamu a wote osa ena ha no esi obi achi kasa em oje ne ho a enye obi didi a obonsa aduane ne ginagina ne bo na ama ne bo ayeyere tan odofo osa ye yade bia yadefo papa etimi ma bo a no yew sa na gye wo chirichew oje wo ho a enye unya wotwea heba pada ne bia awurade tumi na ho ade nti wonnom to asoma ya acha na wotwe miensa bosome wade ho fi osa yade a etete ho osa de me say wansa ho abi na me victim ti menim se de osa etie enye wotwea heba pada me ene ka osa ateteme apansam me osa eye yade bia eyefo hwehwe wotwea heba pada ekiri kwan abra osa yade etete ho wo ye bema prostrate mu how ene ya how wodi no sebe adrum pempenso ya de roba ato bemem saa danse ne de oba ya so ya eye bebre kwa memma awurade tumi ni na ho adi nti wonnom otwea heba pada roba de da wo mu memem no ayiyi na asade wo mu memma yo abre wo mu wodi no afi ne ebia e hyase ebo nkaye ukoda wonya baifo so uche obi a wutu utime dwonso babru bempredu ansa na ade achi odofo eye dwonso twa no no ha obi eba ho wodi no wodwonso a wochima ansa na dwonso na ba wadwonso wi no wotin kase bia ka waya ase ubon se sebe wodi utadua ne hye eye oboxer nim na dwonso ne bi ne nam na ho obeku nipam na ho age dwonso ebasa aduro no eye ba ko pe eduro no otwea heba pada unya bia na afi edi wakagina mu na bema prostrate mu hawa eba no wade ho afiri ho anase wode no roba na yato no na afi eyi afiri mu ama no na afi ede ho mema yo no so asa abrew tie wo ye bema size a awurade de ball se eye wo mema yo no tie ni ye wode no enye sunsum ade bi enye duabo bi na obi abo nanso hu se eso tia na etie be ma amawde na fon aye se crayon aye se straw aye lengelenge me se etise yesusu na ye waduane bi yedi kurukuri wodi ne hia na ehi a efo se kurukuri be me pe wotwe aheba pada ni bi unya bi afreme menkyire wo kwan a wo be maso a wo be no no awurade tumi ni na ho adi nti na afi ma be ma no awura ba yirima me se be ma de enu botom ene se bintini na esen wona ntem no na emom botom nya ntini so abedi di hu na nkoye di a wo sori a ebasa ne ma no omode wa bebie anopa omode wo na epra ewufie be mei ma wuntini enkasa ma wo ebe kasa ma wo de a na ye wotwe aheba pada aha muntie ni ye we emfa bi meka ho na emom size na awurade do ball na so ate a e de sa size na awurade do ball na eno na abegeni tienie eno na be sa aba e de ama ho tienie pa ama me e ho de ehia me eduro no eye wotwea heba pada udi hye nya stroke da fom se be ne fa edwetwo odofo pe wotwea heba pada ni bi ma no e massa be yade na nyemo bre emoso e bre yesika nti we hwe ne na wotwe na we ya be hwe ne na wotwe munya kwanpo ni ma ya aduma na munya sika de egu mubotem o mayimu ti odofo we pe wotwea heba pada e ma wodi hye na wo se be nya stroke da fom na ne fa edwedwo no awurade tumi ni na ho odi nti na wasori agina wodi ne ye sciatica eno na branche bi hia mo se da bia me hwe wontumi o se sciatica yade senke ye nipa di anka oba wodi badi ato no eno kɔ eye din bi a ede nenso odofo e ma ne nya yi eye yade ha na broni di ni na ato so sciatica otu asintini twetwem o je wo ho anye o tina se che na wo sori obo se utu ahwe obi e soli no bo so se me na ya titiriti me nsa aye titiriti pa wotwe aheba pada ni bi awurade tumi ni na ho odi nti wade ho afisa yade no ebre no anya aye bre enu nti me soli na wo je numbers na wo je location a obenya wotwe aheba pada ni bi ato eye kwaw enkotia ho a adua mo ajanhye ho na bawa drugstore ewo ho na bawa drugstore organizer no ele ni so na bawa drugstore ewo kwaw enkotia obenya wotwe aheba pada no dudu bi a ope ato Quimbobone ewo Madina Race Junction gas filling station hona Quimbobone ewo ho ubenya bi ato ade farmer wasuga kope ubenya otwea heba pada ni bi ato ewo ho Dr. Clement ewo Brekum ubenya otwea heba pada ni bi ato House of Drug ewo Ashaman PK Gombila ewo Tamale Jeff Heba ewo Mankesi Breyima ewo Adum Museum ho wo se Breyima ni wo twa rubber stamp original one no ubenya wotwea heba pada ni bi ato Ghana hadie bebe bie to aduro bia Tobinko Pharmacy ewo Okashi Drug Lane ubenya bi ato ewo ho Stecom ewo Nungwa Coastal ubenya wotwea heba pada ni bi ato ewo honom Diamono Pharmacy ewo eye Techiman ubenya wotwea heba pada ni bi ato ewo honum wotwea heba pada ye numbers ni keys ni de ekutame eno ne ye dikodi ewo kwaw tie ni ye mema no ofrem ya na de key ne aka ho wo de ofrem ya so 30 minutes ope 1 hour ope 2 hours na me nkire key no enka ho ne gina brand ma me se bema numbers no eye 0591 56 55 57 0591 56 55 57 0550 63 90 37 0550 63 90 37 the chat no eh 0551 22 82 81 0551 22 82 81 yes what share heba pada ejane hyewa wa ena obeba Amenchia me Dr. J baby I will be a chiao or chia heba pada the Dr. Baku chiao and then so Dr. J was a bema de mo banka J won't o baba KJ so dia na yo chia heba father
all right me da say Alex J me da was papa ya toa jumadie no so live on WONTUMI television so na otwea herbal powder ba be din komodia na ne akabia de eto so maka kire say ene awie the deputy secretary general secretary of the NPP nase na yede no edi nkomo na meet na ekoso enra neck meeting ekoso enra no one ba be che eye ginaya omo ekoy esiye de ma ekoso ene way forward and ho enkomo ene ye ba bidino ene awie na ɛno nso ɛda nkyɛn a ɛno ɛda nkyɛn a na kyɛ sɛ ɛyɛ lawyer Charles Joanna ɛnɛ ɔtena ase na yɛde no ɛdi nkɔmmɔ topical issues nneɛma a ɛrekɔ so ɛwɔ yɛman Ghana mu ɛno nso yɛbɛdi ho nkɔmmɔ ɛnɛ awie ya nti ma afidie no ɛna ha na ɛnɛ awie nkɔmmɔ no bi a ɛrekɔ so no fango nkɔmmɔ ɛkɔ so President Mahama ɔsɛ bread and butter issues ɛno ho asɛm na yɛnka na yɛbɛka bi di aboa no bread and butter issues yi so koraa na ɛnyɛ positive bread and butter issues no bibia pointed to the negative under this current administration but ɛnɛ yɛbɛhwɛ nneɛma a ɛyɛ affect o ɛnɛ wasetena mu ɛte sɛn reset no sɛn de si affect o aban papa aba ɛno ana wo mu yɛ ana anaasɛ sisɛn no deɛ daabi nneɛma apaska fango ho ɛnsɛnsɛm no kwana ɛkɔ soro and by the close of this week crowd it's expected say one shot the next pricing window be used to say word say ɛbɛkɔ soro because a year Donald Trump ɛka Iran for so turn Iraq into the Stone Age or the omo bɛkɔ titibure mu kyɛ so obeyi omo afiri asase ani no one wipe omo kra ma kyɛ sɛ nyɛ kra kolesu kra wontimi kra ɛwɔ ho no prices no a drop but near a year omo ɛkɔfa fango no ɛbrɛ yɛn ɛka kyerɛ yɛn sɛ adeɛ no deɛ nyɛ sisei ɛde ɛbɛhu changes ɛwɔ fuel pumps no ɛho na bɛteki time afei na so ɛte kakra nti bɛteki time ɛnɛ Mr. President John Dramani Mahama ɔyɛ emergency cabinet meeting na emergency cabinet meeting no ɔyɛ no ɛba be change biribi ɛwɔ fuel pumps na anaasɛ sɛdeɛ ɔkɔkaa no Kwaku business meeting sɛdeɛ deɛ ma akɔ no deɛ sɛ ɔyɛ emergency cabinet meeting no ɛdɛn adeɛ na ba form kakra nti no ɛnɛ or revise the notes say onyi tax no levies no ne ho kro ne ba no emfiri so ana let's keep our fingers crossed dan san ye bɛkɔ yɛ nim no na kwam ye sɛdeɛ otuko no bɛse DJ Bobiyom yentie ɛyɛ John Jinapo kakra John Jinapo bra na ɔmo ɛwɔ opposition nsɛm bi ɔka yɛ ɔmo ba aban mu a na prices of a year fuel so ekoyie no yentie John Jinapo ono na currently oye energy minister na back then in opposition near more car ye edifa fango prices no eho na edeya oye minister okojina parliament so ensema okaye enti DJ Boyayom why na kwame ba ade no ensu ewo so na ye fan refresh
on this note and on this auspicious note. Let me make it clear that irrespective of the 1 cedi, we are not going to see an increase in the price of pump price at the petroleum sector. It is only an intelligent government that can do this. No, it's only a smart government. It's only a government with acumen. On this note, and on this auspicious note, let me make it clear that irrespective of the 1 cedi, we are not going to see an increase in the price of pump price at the petroleum sector. It is only an intelligent government that can do this. No, it's only a smart government. It's only a government with acumen.
With grave concern, the rampant and unbridled increase in petroleum prices demonstrates that the Akufo-Addo government is insensitive and heartless to the ordinary Ghanaian. It is equally important to put on record that Ghana is a net exporter of oil. Therefore, when prices of oil at the international market rises, Ghana must benefit, and this benefit must be translated to the ordinary Ghanaian. When prices go up, because we're a net exporter, we gain more. And so it cannot be the case that international oil market prices are going up, and yet Ghanaians are suffering from the windfall that we make from petroleum exports. The recent increase have only resulted in worsening of the living conditions of the already impoverished Ghanaian under the Akufo-Addo presidency. One cannot but come to the conclusion that the Akufo-Addo-led government has run out of ideas. Hence, their decision to resort to such a rampant petroleum increase. With grave concern, the rampant and unbridled increase in petroleum prices demonstrates that the Akufo-Addo government is insensitive and heartless to the ordinary Ghanaian. It is equally important to put on record that Ghana is a net exporter of oil. Therefore, when prices of oil at the international market rises, Ghana must benefit, and this benefit must be translated to the ordinary Ghanaian. When prices go up, because we're a net exporter, we gain more. And so it cannot be the case that international oil market prices are going up, and yet Ghanaians are suffering from the windfall that we make from petroleum exports. The recent increase have only resulted in worsening of the living conditions of the already impoverished Ghanaian under the Akufo-Addo presidency. One cannot but come to the conclusion that the Akufo-Addo-led government has run out of ideas. Hence, their decision to resort to such a rampant petroleum increase. With grave concern, the rampant and unbridled increase in petroleum prices demonstrates that the Akufo-Addo government is insensitive and heartless to the ordinary Ghanaian. It is equally important to put on record that Ghana is a net exporter of oil. Therefore, when prices of oil at the international market rises, Ghana must benefit, and this benefit must be translated to the ordinary Ghanaian. When prices go up, because we're a net exporter, we gain more. And so it cannot be the case that international oil market prices are going up, and yet Ghanaians are suffering from the windfall that we make from petroleum exports. The recent increase have only resulted in worsening of the living conditions of the already impoverished Ghanaian under the Akufo-Addo presidency. One cannot but come to the conclusion that the Akufo-Addo-led.
So John Jinapo should listen to himself. That Onua in playback in Sebo Kano and then it stares at him in the face. Onua in Sebo Kano and then Onua na onfa enye juma tie Sanya editor ono make us say the deputy general secretary of the NPP ewo if he has say ya no eba betwetwe nkomo Alhaji Haruna Muhammad ewo fi hado be na awie ebi na ta friend of prof prof o fi hado be na awie ya no eba twetwe nkomo. I need not repeat myself. Say tia. And I said the culture say neck meeting echo soon. Fall out no. Yade a year deputy general secretary Barbidi ehu enkomo. Na watch the DMM said ye empo ekoye will be tinase enwa. Na fe be a contester. The data ye dibide emu ensense binano. Yabeka ehu asem quickly. Bebana akwaba. Now, make us say, my former friend, ye be clear or call for a year regional communications director for the NPP. My former friend, be who naturally ye, okay, make us say be who naturally, who dear be who no, they fear had ye be who naturally ye, my former friend, Kaskin, Poku, or say Poku, Usu Poku. Ewu fi hado ne awie Kesken so ewo hado ne awie ti my former friend actually you be capture na ya hwe 1 or 2 but prof me ma kwa ba jumedi so na mpacho wapo mu tse shia na say ye shia ya che afi de bi hu wa ha I think say shia there last year o pass the
last time me back kuma
yeah yeah, last year.
The only station I attended to.
Yes.
This is
this year.
Yes.
Oh, okay. But somewhere. Say part no say be fire to my pa e dey fra no busy na round and about. Sir. Prof, what does dear? Yes, every. Enra ehu say party mpanifu nyina ekuhyia ye friend neck meeting na party mpanifu ehyia ye no musinkunya etoatoa adwene na ebibi say empo ya register your members registration of a membership registration course no 31st March ya the court na wiye na enu anyiya nti yese mu ye meeting ya tia humsem kakra na enso ye me de pass edey wo he perifo de kan mo asem say Kwaku mo hoyi ejine Kwaku anu ye mu bi de ni dem ho but mo na mo kohyia mo no ma ye meeting na mu ye meeting no so wi a esebo ne members no ebeche ye course enti prof ena wo ha be ma wakwa ba na no meeting no e ko say
the decline we be chia obi biara o hweye ananse otie ye ewo WONTUMI TV so the heart of Kumasi me chia omunyina na we be chia the owner of this station which we can say the CEO, right? Yes, and I said the group CEO because companies endorse WONTUMI. Michiano, or no so the regional chairman for the new Patriotic Party, Emma, the Greater Kumasi region, and I said the Ashanti region of Ghana. Enra party mpenu for Ekoshiaye. Ye koye no, ye koko hwehwe nema bebree. Unimi say somewhere on the 17th of February, party no Eddie guidelines about wanting under the hand of the General Secretary on a decision of the National Council. Say NEC proposed decision Emma National Council for the adoption of guidelines and timelines for the internal reorganization of the party. Yedi timelines, any guidelines, there were feedbacks and a proposals be brief by say party and share some of the guidelines and answer some of the decisions. In Rano, Ibishiano, there was a steering committee meeting. So you discussed a number of issues to be considered at NEC. Now, Yekoshi and Rano, some of these particular proposals was presented by lawyer Justin Kodia Frimpong, the CEO of the party, the General Secretary. Or your presentation, Emma, the party leadership at the NEC level, there were several decisions party take here. Now, me decisions one after the other. Say unim say party o take decisions and I say ushem rabia e wo kwan say nipa bebe betimi ahun say we enkoye and I say we ebekoye and I say ye ni say a ebeye ne hwe eche de efese eye na ye hia ye no first of all no ye hwe nema mensa and I say about 3 sets of things. First one, polling station elections guideline. Say ufa the expanded guideline. Yo nina ewo. Na nipa bebree ebimi ubisa say the eba no. The latest one eba from National Executive Committee no. Is it replacing the earlier guideline? Answer no no. It's not replacing the entire guideline. Some of the guidelines in the first guideline say yes sir ebimu wo ha ye revise na ebimu wo ha edika ho eninti na General Secretary say revised guidelines for the internal elections and related matters. So first polling station elections guidelines we under polling stations no ye say suspension of elections in disputed polling stations. Yema guidelines when you say internal reorganization. Say all the 40,600 plus polling stations across the country. Yebeye elections in all the polling stations. Now yebe share say no in line with the vision of the General Secretary to make sure, say, polling stations should have an existing and workable album. No, Kwaku share say yeah polling station meetings, and the National Council ajatum say every polling station, say omo share no mo ye meeting, and omo party 4D, omo duru 18 years and above with sound mind, and omo any criminal record no omo Nkansah professor omo say demand driven. The willingness say omo person omo join the New Patriotic Party. In the party's constitution in Article 3, no, party's membership emanates from the polling station. And the National Party no are proposed to NEC, and a NEC Eddie Core Council and a council are adopted here. So there is the need for us to have a workable record that will serve as an album at the polling station, and also to give us data of our party people across the length and breadth of the country, including the diaspora. And say from 1st of March to the 31st of March, party ni biya ukochro wudin at the polling station. Now attended the meeting at the polling station. Omo person omo joining the New Patriotic Party for the first time. No, you should go and attend the polling station meeting. The polling station will accept you. Say ubechro wudin. With this particular directive, no, a bimu woho, some constituency you receive reports. Say in some particular polling stations, no, na omu hold the album, and I say omu hold the polling station register. Na nipemu bebre omu nya access to write their names. So after 1 week of the exercise, no, the General Secretary issue statement, upload and I say onboarded the use of the IT infrastructure for online registration. It was part of the reason say instituted that particular platform. Say nipa bebrebe timi I register online to facilitate the easy work of the polling stations. And nipa bebre omo nya access no bebre akwa control mudi in the online registration. And you know, say, who we all the online registration process, no, there is a statement Eka say go to the polling station and write your name. Because Emmanuel HSF who register online who a member of the party Nkansah. But WONTUMI entwaba ewo polling station na WONTUMI so engina say omuba twaba ma.
Ahona every depa because do one them say no munnim sadia do so ana enti online o ko register online. Now you be online na bia yajiwatum online. Esa o san call polling station.
Yes,
now control di. Okay.
Yes. Now online also so ukwa it is in two strands. Who fill with details no yebohu as a party. Say you've made an attempt to register as a party member. Who proceed to pay your dues and get your electronic card, you will not become a member of the party. Because no betimi actually say me person me ordinary member of the party. Me person me silver member of the party. Me person me gold member of the party, and I say diamond member of the party. And me person me platinum member of the party. And who need category of membership, then you are not a member. So 99% of persons are you want data on the system no omatro and as omatro omudi and omasa pay you dues onto the party's account. Omo wa ha obi mu ha omo ko police stations no omo deny omo access. Ebi mu so omo ko police stations say omo chiro omo di na omo ko ye no omo deny omo access na omo ko platform no so onso akoko register. And the decision not to allow the online registrants to vote it still holds. But the party will suspend polling station elections. On the polling stations, I almost deny people access to register their names into the book at the polling station.
The party will suspend such polling stations. Some of your reports say that
yes, okay. Reports be brave, but other reports are say such reports, and the party will suspend such elections in such disputed polling stations.
But I don't know. Person will say be said denial no, and they say abia at that time the pano so call any available. So that no abia no mudiwa atnase. How do you draw the line?
You see, General Secretary issued a statement afterwards to give specific dates for the election, for the meetings. Say me ba ho na munniwa, then it is something else. And specific dates were given. We were asked to do their meetings during the weekends, and there were 4 Saturdays and there were 5 Sundays in March. There were 4 Saturdays and there were 5 Sundays in March. And which they say, in all sincerity, ubitmi all the 4 weekends to register. And data mudi yedimaya no. It just say yasaka say omo police station no. The police station executives can vary the date by publishing the date of the meeting because of specific instances. Say in that particular jurisdiction there is the need to sit either in the evening or sit in a weekday where nobody goes to funeral, where nobody goes to market, where nobody goes to farm. There are places say there is a specific day omunko bibia. In such cases it should be published so that omo person omumba meeting no ombetimi ahu say time we and I said day we say ombe polling station meeting no. And the days were known but people were denied. So omo deny omo access no, and as a polling stations there was denial of access no. The party will suspend elections at those polling stations and refer the matter to the regional steering committee through the constituency executive committee. That was the first decision by NEC on behalf of the National Council. The second one on the polling station guidelines was the number of polling stations the polling station election committee betimia conducted. In the earlier directive guidelines issued here, it was that said every 3-member polling station election committee be conducted elections for only 10 polling stations. Only 10 polling stations. And we've received and as a nipa bebre e de omo adwen abaye. Omo di baye no ya hwehwem. Ya analyze it. Ya share the human resource. Ya share the timelines. And the quality of work ye pen. Now, no NEC revise the number from 10 to 25. For every 3-member election committee, Omoba organize it, Omoba conduct elections for 25 polling stations. We share a constituency like Trouble. There were 235 polling stations. 235 polling stations. It just said in every 100 you have 4 committees to conduct. In every 100 you have 4 committees because 25 times 4 will give you 100. So uko troboa, then it means that you will have 8 plus 1 giving you 9, and it will be left with 15 polling stations. So Udikawa obenye 10 polling stations. But in the previous one, you would have been getting about 230 committees. So in this particular instance, you'll be getting just 10 committees. But in the other ones, you would have been using about 23 committees. And you reduce the number for effectiveness. So that say time now we use you will be able to get the required.
But when I'm afraid the cluster. Okay,
so we the number of polling stations until we've revised the number from 10 polling stations to 25 for each 3-member election committee.
Okay.
The third one under the polling station was the cluster polling stations. Cluster no, said there is a polling station or there is a specific place where you have 5 polling stations, 10 polling stations. Omutuaba ewo sa particular location. na Keskin me bibia in Kumasi the Ebai say more about 5 police and I say 6 police stations and they vote at that center. There is in most of the schools.
Okay. Yeah, okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
In most of the schools. Ubetibi 5, 6 police, 7 police stations around the same place. And it's a particular one, your friend of cluster polling stations. And it's a particular cluster polling stations, no. Ubia or in the cluster, no. In the previous one, no. In cluster, there were A and B. There were another A and B. There were another A and B. I have 6 polling stations. Ewo na nyina ya A and B, A and B. Obi wo A WONTUMI contest it for B because you are not voting in that polling station. You are voting in A. You are not voting in B. And you WONTUMI contest it for B because say your vote is in A.
Okay.
But in the cluster circumstances, A no and B no ewa one location.
Okay.
Okay. Another A and B again and also one location. Another A and B and also one location. So it will be a school B and polling stations ewa hono 6. Ebimu line A to her. Ebimu so line A to her. Ebimu so line and a nyina
okay.
In our first guideline for the meeting, you see all the polling stations no bet me one meeting. But uko within agu your specific polling station register book no. But WONTUMI contest it for a polling station now untuaba. But in no you could share no you revise it for only cluster polling stations. The polling stations one compound. Who are A Ube contest for B.
For the cluster.
Who are A Ube contest for B. Mubit our polling station A and B, but it is not at one place. Baby, I meet maba. I was Abzugu. Media no DA primary Chakpologu A. B no any A no, it is not at one place. A no ewo Chakpologu former Ahemfie no honum ewo. And a B no ewo one particular mosque far from where A no ewo no. No enye cluster. But where say A and B no ewo one compound. And another A and B so ewo ho and I say enye A and B kura a polling station this 1 2 3 4 5 na ni nyina ewo one compound a cluster enti wo polling station A and I say polling station 1 ubetimi agina ema polling station 4 as a polling station executive. The rationale no say all the executives and I say omo ye dwuma party no at that particular center no edu abatwa saima ukotwi nipa baba vote a unko se utwi obi a oye A ni anase B ni anase polling station 4 ni utwi MPP 4 se omo ba beto aba na omu nyina omu dwuma no omu ye bom uye ma all the polling stations enti ye be yi nipa obegina ma sa particular polling stations na ye be cluster no sa ye say ye relax the rule no emma omo obetimi aye dwuma omo free cluster no omo gusu eye dwuma no bida say omo betimi a contest even so say vote sa particular polling station no, but the polling station is within the vicinity you vote. Now you attend meeting at that particular cluster. That is explanation for the cluster polling station. But if it is not cluster, if you don't vote in that polling station, you cannot stand for elections. say ubetu aba anase umetu aba ama. Then from there no you call eligibility contest. Eligibility to contest. Ubietimi are contesting for the elections. You must who be contesting. I say who reside in the electoral area.
Ya to so abano. I say uti
yes uti sa area no.
Okay.
Sa electoral area no. Say you're working with electoral areas. Every polling station is found itself in an electoral area. And yes, who reside in that electoral area. Ushe ahano asokwa bebiaye it is part of a certain electoral area. Ebianka the constituency secretary won ko bitmia actually said this electoral area name is this. But if say ube contested for electoral area A, but uti electoral area B, WONTUMI. Reside in electoral area.
Yeah.
For you to be eligible to contest, no, you must come from the electoral area. Say, ebeye biano. What is that particular electoral area? Who da ho, who did you ho, who ye juma e wo ho, and I say, who party juma yina e wo ho. Na ufie e wo ho, and I say, baby, I would dano e wo ho.
Okay.
But who person who contested for elections in a polling station say, ewo electoral area B. Now, uti electoral area C. WONTUMI contesting. So you should come from the electoral area. So if it's a cluster, more especially, no, most of the cluster polling stations, no, it is one electoral area.
Oh, okay.
Because electoral area bear a one code. So the code for the electoral area, no, it is on all the polling stations in that particular electoral area. So for uniqueness and identification, no, yes, you must come from the electoral area. Who resided in that electoral area. And who are back our electoral area.
Prof, what to us no ebia kebia menim sanka dodo na yon baby sabat the best I can do. And say who question bia who bet to me ediafa 0244 510595 so na makenkan ediama prof nti 0244 510595 nti wo question bia ubetumi de afa so na we dey prof to aso no menhwe be ma prof na okay o dey prof to aso na o dey ko anima na menhwe say bia questions ni bi ewo hodoma na fe makenkan say wo so betumi ayi no amaya na wabo mo.
So apart from urus ewo hono say utumi to aba so ewo sa particular electoral area no enti who reside in electoral area no who reside in the electoral area but who vote outside the electoral area say who see electoral area no but baby a who to aba no and as a polling station a who to aba no it is not in that electoral area. So baby a who to aba no should be in that particular electoral area and not about eligibility contest to contest for polling station and as a electoral area elections in that particular area. Then the fifth one is special polling stations. Special polling stations. Your polling stations are our schools. Your polling stations are our security zones. Your polling stations are our government ministries. Your polling stations are our inside the markets. And your polling stations are that is in hospitals. So particular polling stations no. WONTUMI Nkansah polling station at the military barracks should only allow those residents in the barracks, that is the military to contest for the elections at the polling station, because emrano and more kwan say omunjina for such particular contest. So obi a obetimi contest elections, and also obi a person or contest elections for barracks, and also institution, and also market area, and also a ministries area. You must reside in the electoral area, some particular special polling station or ewo. Who vote is a particular polling station because it's a barracks. The security people are voting there. Though say you were civilians say or move vote ewo, but you relax the rule. No say we should open it up for people who vote in the electoral area where the barracks polling station belongs, where the market polling station belongs, where the school polling station belongs. And you classify some particular polling stations as special polling stations. And you relax and also to the electoral area base. Then the second tranche was on electoral area guidelines. Electoral area election guidelines. Uko the first guideline, the initial guideline, and I say the base guideline now, Edimayeno. Now you say for every 3-member electoral area committee, we will conduct elections for 5 electoral areas. Enurano ekushia ya sisa that particular directive, and I said that guideline, and you revise from 5 to 10. So for every 3-member electoral area election committee, we will conduct elections for 10 electoral areas. But if electoral area no so like my constituency, there were 15 electoral areas. 15 no, we 10 from cut 5. And the regional steering committee ebetimi divide the electoral area of 15 into 2, and on area 7 and 8. Then a committee will go and conduct the elections. That one, Emrano, and I said the changes to vary the number of electoral area is in the hands of the regional steering committee. And now the steering committee no nipa baako say omunko aka the constituency executive committee say umbetimi ayi all the committee members for the elections. Then on resignation requirement of a polling station executive, in the base guideline, na you say who call electoral area and we polling station executive. And you say ube resign and sign in the initial one. Yesterday, no, ya sisa particular rule for the electoral area. Who call for electoral area elections? Now we are polling station executive. Ube resign from your position as a polling station executive, and sign will be contesting for electoral area officer, because there were 5 positions at the electoral area level. Now, then you must resign if you are an existing polling station executives. So that rule, you revise it, that particular rule. Then there come a chapter elections. Say your diaspora, who call diaspora, your chapters and your branch. Chapters, like constituencies, and a branch, like region. And to call for the chapter elections, ya clarify certain rules for the conduct of the chapter elections. So for the chapter elections, the chapter, the branch executives committee, omubeyi nipa baako, ono na beye the chairperson for the election committee. Then the chapter executive committee, omususu beyi nipa baako, and the chapter council of elders, omususu beyi nipa baako. And the branch executive committee, no, omubeyi nipa baako, ono na beye chairman for the election committee. The chapter executive committee, no, omo tisono, omubeyi nipa baako as representative And then Council of Elders for the chapter no omo be nipa baako ono so be ka ho omo ye 3-member election committee. That is how they will form their 3-member committee. Then mode of elections no now ebi mu omo ye online, ebi mu ye in person. The guideline no na edi ba bonte no ye ka say the guidelines actually say elections shall be in person. Inura no ya sisa sa particular rule no kakra in person no ewo ho, but baby a omo pese omo ye elections
be in person no ubetumi achire mu
say wa onkasa wo ho say wa onkasa wo ho na utu aba no ama wo enti wontumi ento by proxy enti it is in person wa onkasa wo ho say utu aba no untimi ma obi akwakoto aba ama o ana say ubetu aba on online. So for the first one no you see only in person. Eno no ya sesa no kakra you see in person no ewo ho, but baby a omo pese omo to aba online, then online no should be done on official MPP e-voting platform. Untumi and develop your own voting platform online. Say omo to aba like Miss muko Canada. Na Canada branch a omo chapter omo ye elections no. Then omo ka say omo be develop omo ankasa e-voting platform for voting. There will be only one e-voting platform from the national headquarters of the party. So baby omo ye e-voting no. Then it must be on the official MPP e-voting platform. Ebi wo ha oyare, ebi wo ha wato kwan, ebi wo ha bibi anase nema bi anase juma bi or website ontumi nko. And the way diaspora elections no ekono, so unim say abrochi no ewa baby awokoto aba no ewa na wo juma ma uko wo say ukoye juma na uko ubenye bibi abefie na elections nti ubetimi ajaye ujuma no na o si ukoye elections ya makwan say where it is necessary say yenye e-voting no, then we should do it on the MPP e-voting platform.
Oh, okay.
Not Canada say omun develop omo ankasa e-voting platform. No, it should be a unique e-voting platform which is for the party, and the party has developed or would develop one for all the e-voting platforms. Then eligibility for you to contest. Ube contesti for position at the chapter in Abuja. I say you must be an active member for 2 years. And sana ubitimi contesti and I say ubitimi vote in that particular election.
Active member for 2 years.
2 clear years before. Because who refer back to the constitution, the chapter rule, it is equal to constituency. And the constitution states that before you can become a constituency executive committee member, you must be an active member in good standing for 2 years. Now you're a party member for Mfiemini and sana ubitimi atuaba and ase ubitimi ajina na mo atuaba ma. That is what works for the diaspora in terms of the chapter. Then positions to be contested. Now positions no na dosu. Canada betimi ayi positions way, US betimi ayi positions. Now positions no was not consistent to everybody. And because of that no, yeba office, Yewura Justin Kodua ka say, no, we must streamline the positions. Bibia obekono, the positions must be the same. And in the wisdom of the party, we have come out with the positions for the diaspora. And for you to contest for chapter, then ubetimi ajina ama chapter chairman and as a chairperson. Ubetimi ajina for first vice chairman.
These are the positions.
These are the positions.
A year chapter.
Yes, chapter. Chapter chairperson, chapter first vice, chapter second vice, chapter secretary, chapter deputy secretary, chapter treasurer, chapter organizer, chapter women organizer, chapter youth organizer, chapter Nasara organizer, and chapter communications officer. These are the offices say at the chapter level. These are the contested positions at the chapter level.
Prof, me name say be a member wo area na say because messages no cry me na
let me finish the chapter and
okay,
then,
yeah,
we
just
close to finishing.
All right.
Then
all right.
The appointed offices for the chapter, no, it is defined. The chapter research officer, the chapter electoral affairs officer, the chapter women organizer, the chapter deputy women organizer, the deputy chapter youth organizer, the deputy chapter organizer, and the deputy chapter Nasara organizer. You cannot WONTUMI and appoint any other office that is not in this guideline. It must be consistent with the established guidelines of the party. Then addition, the appointed offices, chapter financial secretary, any chapter PWD coordinator. So particular two positions on account. So these are the appointed offices. You can't appoint less and you can't appoint more. WONTUMI appoint Abroso and I say Uyibi every. You must appoint the established positions that is being put to you for election. Then branch and also so mode of elections is the same as the chapter. In person and NPP e-voting, official e-voting platform. And then eligibility also so the same thing, 2 years. Eligibility is 2 years before you can contest and also you can vote. And positions also so for contestant ones the same. Branch chairperson, branch first vice, branch second vice, branch secretary, branch deputy secretary, branch treasurer, branch organizer, branch women organizer, branch youth organizer, branch Nasara organizer, and branch communications officer. These are the contested offices at the branch for the diaspora. Then the appointed ones, branch research officer, branch electoral affairs officer, branch legal officer.
Branch legal officer. Okay.
Branch deputy branch women organizer, deputy branch youth organizer, deputy branch organizer, financial or branch financial secretary, branch PWD coordinator, and then branch special duties officer.
The branch legal, it's always been.
These are the first time we are introducing. It was part of the amendment. Now, amendments are in Accra. Yes. Now, yes. So once the branch is equated to the region had these positions, then the branch will have the same position for the diaspora. So these were part of the amendment. In Accra at the Legon Sports Stadium.
Okay.
Now, apart from that, it was the vision of Lawyer Justin Kwadua to ensure that the party at all levels, role definitions was very clear. Rule definitions was very clear. So, Odibaye, after the amendment of the party's constitution and before the elections of officers, we must define all the rules so that the next officers they will not be conflicting of rules. So the National Executive Committee in Urano, NIPA 9, say they should draft or develop a party manual for officers. Party manual for all officers of the party, from polling station, electoral area, constituency, chapter, branch, regional, national. And the chairman is former national chairman of the party, Yeura Peter McNeil. The vice chairman is Yeura Honorable Osei Bonsu Amwa. bebree efra no obi amoa ɔyɛ lawyer yeah ye this year Henry Nana Boachi lawyer ɔyɛ member mo this year baako so Enoch Awre Afuakwa ɔno sɛ lawyer ɔyɛ member secretary yɛwɔ lawyer Anthony Namo ɔyɛ regional chairman Emma the good people of Upper East from the regional chairman's caucus Okaho as a member. Nkansah Haruna Mohammed be a member of the committee from the national secretariat of the party. Yamame Justina Marigold Asa or a former regional minister for the central region. They friend the gold of central region. Or a member. Yamame Ama Primpoma Juma or a lawyer. Now a former CEO for SIC. Also na Yamami Joanna Ada or your first vice regional chairman for the Greater Accra region also kaho enti committee where they will discharge their duty say omoba pe omoba research omoba tnase omoba kasa vast experiences beba and you establish the rule definitions for every member for all leaders of the party.
For all into omo juma pa say omo I want to be person with to be.
Yes, omo juma to develop a comprehensive manual outlining the specific roles and responsibilities of party officers at all levels.
All levels.
Polling station chairman, the role, secretary, organizer, youth organizer, electoral affairs, communication.
But one will ask, isn't their role already defined?
No, it's not. In the constitution, the rule say polling station executives. But what is the work of the chairman? What is the work of the secretary? Juma Baina organizer no baye. Juma Baina Nasara no baye. Juma Baina electoral affairs no baye. Juma Baina communication no baye. Ni nyina no committee no be treat agu manual no so na obi biara benim se meko gina se me pese mingina as a communication officer me wini a edwuma we na me baye ebi mo ha o ko positions bi o mo nim sa position ne dwuma no wa hu ko position anase obisa no mo kan chen se position ne dwuma ye se ya obaka se dey bi e dia mintimi ko sa particular position no ma me ko position fofo. So yes, you establish it so that rule definitions are clear. So these were the decisions of NEC yesterday. Yeah. About me.
Okay. But I say, be an afraid watching with Fidia the Ababetuaduma, me pacho, aha, you WONTUMI TV. Na Openia Meneno Kasano, Deputy General Secretary for the NPP. Justin Frimpong Kudia, na bedi echini enono. Any adeno twetwe komo ewo afidie so na neck meet na enra omo ekotena ase ana sempelifo mo sinkoya eye de obiebie mu ensem no ede a kire se ne obeti ase because ye nyina no ne ye ni dem hodum ebi enti eye owura Haruna Mohammed aye friend prof de ne no twetwe nkomo no member eye prof nchen bio na prof we de ma minyi questions kakra every hodum say be able to be aboy eya no a nka be ayi dia but me kenkan messages no sala be trust ye betumi attend and say so be ya no e dia man na afi yenko ye dem enfa nkobo no tofa Dr. Enoch Echampon Dr. Enoch Owahene Echampon a lecturer e woke at UST or a regular panelist ewaha. Now, Dr. Enoch Owahene Echampon message was good afternoon, boss. During the earlier guidelines, the General Secretary said that polling station executives can contest for electoral area committee position without necessarily having to resign. But the new guideline requires resignation. 1. Please ask Deputy Secretary what has necessitated this change. 2. Again, the party should kindly publish the list of polling stations so suspended to avoid confusion. 3. The major challenge the party has to address is the interest of incumbent constituency executives who have interest to seek for re-election, serving as members of the election committee members. That's where the machinations will come from. So over to me.
So first, or say, what be say what has informed say they should resign before they contest. Consistency, because we share in all the positions, you say ube contest here resign. So and yes, you must special reference or preference to a certain position. So we share the polling station was the only person that can contest any position within the party without resigning. So for consistency, Mpenyinfo adwene ho say we should be consistent. Every position will be contested. If you are holding an existing position, you must resign. Not that your tenure of office has ended. For the purposes of clarity, or more executives they don't need to resign before they contest, because incumbent executives and their tenure of office ebe. That is why I say you elect new officers for them. But for the fact say while contesting for polling station elections, while winning in less than a month, who person will contest for electoral area, and yes, will resign. Because if the electoral area coordinator contests and win, now or person will call contest for constituency, the rule say on resign. If the constituency officer contests and wins, and or person will call regional, the rule says on resign. If the regional executive or contestee or winner, no person will call national, then yes or resign. So for consistency and fairness, then the polling station executive should also resign for fairness and consistency. Okay. Then second one, Obisa said, yes, or say young publish the list.
Okay, the list of polling stations so suspended to avoid confusion.
To avoid confusion. If you read the guideline and see where a polling station elections committee is unable to conduct elections due to concerns by party members, including those who registered online but were denied access to write their names in the polling station membership register, the committee shall suspend the elections at that polling station and refer the matter to the regional steering committee through the constituency executive committee. The key word is if the polling station election committee is unable to conduct. We are not at the stage of conduct. We are at the stage of building the album. So you be do time almost conduct elections, and a committee conduct elections, and there is that resistance of an issue of denial, then they will suspend the elections. So until those issues or denials comes up are raised, you cannot suspend now, even though say polling stations be or more deny a bimuse but they went to write their names online. So if you know say you have been denied and the time of elections reach and you go to vote and they says you cannot vote, the elections committee will suspend the elections for that polling station. And Unim said the elections for that for the poll, it is for a number of days, about 6 or 10 days for the elections. So who suspend it for the first time within the period of the elections? Steering committee will take a decision. But you take a decision, I can say all those who register online because you deny them access to write their names in the register. No for mon can say or mon control. But you can say okay, fine. Mu deny nipa mo say or mun timi voting. Omubati aka say all recognized or known party members within the polling station should come out and vote. That is the punishment for denial. And that is the remedy to cure that mischief. So we cannot publish now. Then there was a third one.
The third one says the major challenge the party has to address is the interest of incumbent constituency executives who have interest to seek re-election, serving as members of the election committee members. That's where the machinations come.
Well, for sitting executives are not eligible to be members of the elections committee. We are sitting member, executive, we are secretary, and also we are organizer. Now, who praise will be contested bioma, you are not eligible to be part of the elections committee.
You are not eligible.
Yes, you are not eligible because the guideline you issue your first. I say, if you have interest to contest for polling station, you cannot be part of the polling station election committee. If you have interest to contest for electoral area, you cannot be part of the polling station election committee. If you have interest to contest for constituency executive, you cannot be part of the constituency, the polling station elections committee. And it doesn't come in. But interest in here, we all know incumbency, and that is why they've called something incumbency. Is the advantage or people use incumbency? You cannot take it away. WONTUMI fa incumbency no entry. But you must put the process to be fair. And that is why during the presidential elections, Mebaha, before the presidential elections, Entina Mika say, Maba. Mika Chao say, me neutral. Because I have a casting vote. Makanchero, Ewaha, yeah. Me say, me neutral. Me are casting votes. But what is important for me as a leader, I should be fair to the I should be fair. I should establish a sincere platform, equitable platform, transparent platform for the elections. That is the holding factor. And those say omu contest, they cannot be part of the committee. So it's out. But for the interest, it will be difficult to take away the interest. But there are instances, nipa bi mu ha, omo the album in the previous ones, omo the book no ma omo say omo control the polling station executives emra. Omo control di no buy no. Omo lose airport. Even some of them didn't even get 5% of the votes when they contested for parliamentary primaries. Yes.
Prof,
for the sensitivity of it, can be budding because it's there. Some of the consciences are there, even in Ashanti region here, at the heart of Kumasi. Some people develop their albums, but they develop albums as MPs. They were MPs. They developed the album without anybody. They didn't invite anybody, but they went and scored third in the election. So you can use your interest, but the people's mind might change, and they will decide something different. So for interest, we can only work to improve it, but we cannot take it away completely.
All right. What if the main messages do bomuna afi brebuna yen wrap up with a contest no na me bisa e be advice for a year but when you say hello, good evening, KK, I want Prof to clear this for me. I was staying at a particular electoral area and have moved to another electoral area in the same town. Where can I contest? But I still have my vote at the old electoral area. Ajiman Edifree, a year meme.
I'll be very brief about it, so that we can ignore that.
Okay.
Move, who vote, and I say who move physically.
Okay.
Who vote echo dia, who bet me a contest ewo. One move vote echo now who move physically echo. Then, because of the residing factor in the electoral area, you have moved and you are not more there, so you have been moved.
Okay. You have moved, so you are not
moved. Yes.
All right. And I smell the free Ebuakwa, or say similar to my Ebuakwa menshia, or say similar to my electoral area at Chuma menshia. we have individuals who live in Menchia Old Town and are registered in a specific location, such as DKC, within the same electoral area. That's Achuma Menchia. If someone wants to become a polling station executive in Menchia Old Town after moving from Old Town to DKC, is that possible for them? I don't know whether you understand the question.
I understand. Me Abia, the Menchia Old Town in New Town, it is in one electoral area. But the place of residence in Assasa. Okay. But the person was still voting in Menchia Old Town. It is like with the vetting committee to determine, say, Jumana Obeyeno at that particular polling station, Obetimiaye. All electoral activities of the individual, who yen a New Town and I say Old Town. And in the vetting committee baby sir. The answers are obey the AMA vetting committee. That will be the qualifying factor.
And quick one, this one says, please, KK, is there any date set aside for someone who could not get the opportunity to register during the period under review to register? August the phrase to
there is no specific date. Date beyond to those who were denied access to register or more register online. So if you are denied access to register, try as much as possible to register online. If there's going to be a decision to add those on online, then your name.
That's the same validation. Also, I was still Jacob polling station. Or what happens then?
Validation.
Yeah. You can say we are registered online and still so we didn't concrete.
Yes. So because you were denied access to register at the polling station in the book, you went to register online.
Yeah.
So if the issues come up at the time of the elections, then there may be a decision by the regional steering committee to say that, okay, let's add those who registered online, who were refused to register inside the book. And that is fair. For me, that is fair. You cannot flout the rules of the National Council just because you think that you are mafia. And because of that, my man that is not fair.
All right. It's back 3 penalty ya final you know suna ya koye the messages no those but answers no crowd but I think say answer relocation relocation yeah it's been said no answer don't one idea. Isaac the free a futu bodiase also please I want to know if you contest for a coordinator position after you have resigned as a polling station officer and you lose, can you come back to take your position as a polling station officer again?
You cannot eat your cake and have it. You've resigned. Why resign?
All right. And Prof Wahakeke, I went to my polling station to write my name, but they wrote my name in an exercise book. They told me they would call me, but no one has called me. I'm Vivian from Bebu, and I have this one that says that good evening. The current members of parliament should be talked to. If not, their plans regarding this polling station executives would hurt the party during the general election. Offensive North is a case study. The posture of the current MP behavior towards all polling station executives is not the best. Our party cards are still with him because we did not vote for him. Well, sorry, my name, please, the decision should be clear before writing the names. You can contest and vote if you are staying in that area. Please, can you go to electoral area without being a polling station? Blah, 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 blah. Anthony. But, Prof,
yes.
Aka few moments na ya sorry Jumedi no so. Enche abatoɔ na ɛwɔ yɛdim contest no ɛwɔ wɔ yɛdima yɛkɔ no nkakran na abatoɔ ɛnso ɛba dia ebi na presidential you know yɛkɔ one party and as members na yɛnyina one party but we the we tuja we yes and now advice be and out the bama a party for going forward and now because ye pese ye be na abatoɔ kakra ya to kase na wie na se ho de no so ya na metiu macau efutu be and out the bama party for 80 and
ansana me be call just respond to one of the questions obi a omuchiro ne din ewo exercise book they will transfer it. They don't need to call her, they will transfer it to the main book. That is why I say Oman friend. So Vivian transfer alcohol that is the response. Yes, you call for elections, polling station, electoral area, constituency, region, up to national your team simply be more kasa be more be say oh Haruna who co-position bi na because oh me dey me position no enye elected position na yewura Justin Kudia from form or no na share me bo because he's going to tell my father, he's late now, that he wants me to be his deputy.
Oh, okay.
For Obe Kanchan me papa no ne wo a UDC in Yendi. That was the former vice president's wife's funeral. So now Kanchan say of say bano a deputy or we are. And media no a appointment and in your elections. But me boss airco and I'm solidly behind my boss because of the results are on here. My teacher nipa be so eba. The advice for persons are almost person almost contested for elections at any of the levels should be very sincere. And somehow we can let honesty follow it. Let the truth follow it. Because my teacher will be more maturity, political maturity. And I say, the person who be contested for position of any that nature, ultimately what political maturity. The best political maturity is to be honest, is to be sincere, is to be able to keep what decisions has been taken, even if you have a dissenting view. You don't come up openly to say you were against it. And that is the best political maturity. And Mate, because I'm from the secretariat of the party, Mate say obia Kwaku kase na or the insurance be ba or friend group personal accident policy. It was an insurance policy. Now some artificial body a blockade that particular agenda. It is not true. Obi edi buyer. Because this is an internal matter, so that's why I want to clarify. Yes, and if you indulge me, specifically, it's a national treasurer. Or say, as part of his work, and because a person contesting for general secretary in T, or can nema bibria enyana kre. But I want to clarify this matter. Maybe nipa bidding ubit me cross check it because I know say WONTUMI a credible station. Very credible, which may your research I find out. Some particular policy in the general secretary is the CEO. You don't just send any policy to National Council or NEC. You have to defend those particular policy. AMPA or the policy be by that policy was group personal accident policy. The general secretary gave it to a committee headed by Dr. Kingsley Ajiman, MP for Eduakwa South, who was the chairman. And Honorable Abna Osei Asari, former Minister Finance, former Minister of State Finance, Ama Frimpoma, lawyer, former CEO for SIC Insurance, Nana Aje Bewa Bafo Iwa Muamudishie, and then lawyer Gary Nimakon, Omumensa lawyers. 3 of them are lawyers. And now, the credibility and I said the credentials of the chairman were a chartered insurance banker. He's chartered. He has worked throughout his life in insurance company. Abena a chartered accountant and a chartered insurance person. Ama a Juma as a so omunina a insurance persons. Omuni in terms of law. This committee omudi report by say, oh, as a political party such as MPP no. We don't need to go for group personal accident policy. It's just one accident, one. We have to go for group life insurance policy. Life, no, accident, no, kaho. It can be. So you must go for the whole, not the part. So that recommendation, then the general secretary took that recommendation to the National Council, not even NEC. Yes, a National Council, Eka said, at this particular moment, what has been suggested by him and what has been recommended by the committee, then the National Council need time to look at it. And that was why I said they are implementing what the committee brought and also what the National Treasurer brought. And there is one thing in our party constitution. You see, the Finance Committee Omu doesn't take decisions on behalf of the national party. They bring recommendations. So Obi Kwabonte Abaka said the finance committee took a decision and then the general secretary blocked it. The general secretary doesn't have a power to block decisions of a structure. But a decision of a committee, such as the finance committee, is not a decision, it's a recommendation. So as a general secretary, as a vice chancellor, as a CEO, as a managing director, you must interrogate the decision and sign an Odiko board meeting. So it was not feasible. It couldn't stand. And the reasons are that Omu share the industry practice. Omu share the scope of coverage. Also, life is more important, and in life include accidents. So that was why it is entirely not true that somebody, Lawyer Justin Kodia is a decent man, and he follows the structure and knows the structure very well. And me jinaha na meka yen through competition. Yeah, they yen through competition. The first time here kono, the whole front they were against us. We were able to break the barriers and won the election through competition. Obia opese on compete with Lawyer Justin Kodia Omra. You have a contest, but you have a fun in about the party because la ye bida. Now, because you effective when you armchair treasurer, Mr. The whole of 4 years, no 1 year any fundraising Emma party. Even election year, there is no single fundraising by the national treasurer. So 1 year national fundraising, another 1 year fundraising, even constituency, nothing. Then what else were you doing? I'm chair treasurer. But Justin Kodia from Pong, 5 northern regions, no. In northern region, we went to Sanargo, we went to Tamale North, and from there, you call Upper East, you call 5 constituencies in Upper West. But in Upper East, you fair all the conflict zones, in one particular place. Then we went to Navrungo Central. We went to Navrungo, went to Bolga Central. Then in Upper West region, we went to 4 constituencies. At some point in time, around 4 a.m. and 7 a.m. again, we are moving out. In Northeast region, all the places that we went with Lawyer Justin Kodia from Pong, so in all the 5 northern regions, and in other regions, Okoye, for the first time, General Secretary, want now Kujesu, no or call round to all constituencies and down to polling stations. Lawyer, Waye Juma, Wapujuma.
Justin,
me person me jinaha. Na Ashanti Region 4, I mean down wasi because Ufa youth organizer, MIA as a CEO, and from then or buy as general secretary, Wapujuma, or Nkansah, or procedure, or process structures in Juma. Till the end of my life, I will support Lawyer Justin Kodia.
Wow.
Become the general secretary again.
Wow. And so the deputy general secretary of the NPP and the support Justin Frimpong Kodia echi wutu odono feeling no deep na prof and I say Alhaji Haruna Muhammad and o studio hadom and eyubre ebia ya time no aswa no na medim there my former friend Cascade Cascade my former friend na ma for ehu my former friend no na me kobi ma kabi there na yefa
di we there mean
my former friend the day kra bo say bia bi dua pa so the day kra say eyo wusu say yo Cascade yi
mene Victor say poku na keso ozu poku no usually ana tawo to tako enye so
na pobu to say
nyame adomina
yeah da yabe ase and the deputy aka nsemu p na Cascade so obeko regional communications director Empreno Edruha but the deputy general secretary aka nsemu then now the beka ona yakwa kofa do si akase
medawase machia echefo na ni ahwefo ina no kra wo mu ni se
parts, as part of restructuring, when you fought to Tinama Degree, and in adding to the year Minia Penny kind, JFK has done what every reasonable leader is supposed to do. I have no doubt in my mind that JFK will be maintained as the General Secretary. In these trying moments, we need the likes of JFK. Sometimes, even not sometimes, a brand name we are there. Sir, the very sober, reflective leadership, and it's me glue the party together. It will be in the midst of the turbulence. Now, some back up a canoe with I come and many JFK from the days of youth organizer all to this time. If I'm to vote for more 10 votes, bring a major. If say me regi become on the year, me regi account the major. So, and I'm sure, deep in my thoughts, say the person really 2028. The kind of leadership I hear in a general secretary, JK is the one to provide that. And now share me bunu ye nante ye movie obi on my friend say Kwame Bani nkoye MPP adwuma ba dwi hu tutu JK friend madam nya no enya me nkwa make asase mi enya me nkwa make asase mi. And I can promise you say the force from Ashanti region be tarnish enya ono nkwa echi because oba be sum Dr. Baumia and whoever becomes the running mate force e ba be ta o ma cha mo adwuma na aso no say omo wa kra ye wo kumase a omo beto ma dwunu say kumase the everything is okay. We are going to make sure we do our utmost best because 2028 you mean you have to understand Dr. Baumia. And I believe say most of the youthful guys are omo region they will tell you the same thing. And I believe my colleagues who jab Bamonia this omo other regions they are thinking the same way. We are all poised. Yeah, third party for the best starting polling station about 2 in April. Yama emu enaho nenye diu. I in some interested women, but interested women say ukuma me we are only nambia. Wa ma me no ukuma. E du brese aduane ne nam na san. Obeji na mofra be. Besrem. Yama bibia mu na ho. The elections and part my kasa ho nti do whatever you have to do. But be sure say we ni na no ma we feel the group interest. Ne we are party unity in Kambu. Na yim pushi osno no. Dr. Baumia so no. And make sure say 2028 because the NDC for you win election is ya they are messing up too much. Omonto kwan cross be so e be kesi achen here.
Na double.
Omonto kwan be kesi achen here. And I'll show you me cost from LGBT sensem, cocoa sensem, cost of living cost and trial moody, any jandam back corruption cost. It is so serious. Or more mudina ne maybe so to mind this will bring any say. It's all incumbent on us. Promises on we are teachers, we have automatic posting, nurses have automatic posting. They don't buy my agenda a 24-hour economy 133. Nina, and I'm be saying this MC be recently said. Muslim Baba be 24-hour economy. In Muhammad Jin Kasi, Muslim Baba be 24-hour markets. Now 24-hour markets, we see we are. And Yamana would be good market or more of free here. If you China never buy. So indirectly, no over 10 cities, more 10 cities are, and more 8 cities are China. So in practical sense, no, but John Mahama a year 24-hour economy in China and Ghana. But can you know, say, I'm not casting. I'm saying to trade minister, any consultants in your man who have basic logic. We don't have first year policy students. A very basic woman. But the point I'm making is NDC are bringing away John Mahama. Want to be creative, you might be a mobia. Or buy a year, you're a brother, or will be any young. Or one a car said, and I do. Any brothers in the family is 8 years. Yes, sir. Into the question is, and no, I don't know so yana.
Now take ask doctor, or a doctor, Keskin, Wusupuku. Hey, and come here for title. In Africa, we don't joke with our titles. In Africa, we don't joke with our titles. Former friend in Tiana, the doctor, Dr. Keskin Usupuku, and what's in, yes, Dr. Keskin Usupuku, Uflo, yes, but former friend. Deputy. where there I just have the time class aso enti ye beda wase why ye beda wase papa say osu ede wa ba be chire eye nsem. We wish you nothing but the best, together with Justin Frimpong Kudya baby biaro bia so ye chiado ene ayubre ti beda wase mi why Dr. Keskin Usupoku
mama ntia ni pa ba ko
meeting pa
ya regional chairman WONTUMI
WONTUMI me da say
me na me kabro for man me kabro for manual no
me da say papa enti ya de besi ade akwa akwa do nsia